city has made in their lives. Thank you.
Boise is a community that supports its independent small business. But one of the things that we really treasured about being a downtown Boise business was the fact that we knew we could count on the mayor and the city council to help us with the health and safety issues that were important to us for keeping not just our customers, but our staff, healthy and safe through all of this. We love being in Boise, and we're looking forward to being here for a long time. And knowing that when the chips are down, we can depend on the mayor.
The vast preponderance of Boiseans do want this city to be open, to be inclusive, embrace diversity of expression, and abhor the kind of ugly anti-Semitism and hate messages that we've seen. I very much appreciate the city reaching out after this series of incidents. Received an invitation from the mayor's office, and she created a task force. When the mayor and when civic and communal leaders speak out, it speaks to the heart of the problem. We're in this work together, so we need to draw on our own experience of feeling vulnerable, of feeling scared, and translate that into action so that others don't feel that. And that's our sacred obligation. There, I very much appreciate the efforts of Mayor McLean, because I think when it starts from the top, from the city, it sets a clear tone.
I work for a great company. But I was going through cancer, and I had to take quite a bit of time off. And then COVID hit, and they downsized. So it's been kind of hard, but you still have the bills. So the rent relief was a huge, huge boulder off my shoulder. I'm so appreciative of Boise. So to tell you the truth, I don't know what I would have done. Just to get that breathing room for a few months. It certainly helped out a lot. Thank the Housing Authority as well as the mayor. I've lived quite a few places, and I really haven't found a home like Boise that really does care about its residents and does care about the welfare of its folks. And that's really refreshing. I think the mayor really has shown that she's committed to that and committed to keeping people from being homeless.
Esteemed guests, please welcome to the stage Mayor Lauren McLean.
Run away with me. Lost soul to reverie. Running wild and running free.
Well, hello, everybody. It is amazing to see you all in person. I'm just trying to take it in for a minute. Thank you. I'm not sure where Tom is. Thank you for your oh, there you are. Kind introduction and all your work on behalf of the Chamber for the city. And thank you all for your kind welcome to the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I want to say thanks for bringing us all back together, and this time in person. It's really incredible to be back, to see faces. It's a little exciting to be able to deliver a speech like this in person, but also, frankly, a little nerve-wracking because it's been so long. And this is my first State of the City with all of you in this way. So I have a ton of people to recognize. First, I want to recognize our City Council. Thank you all for your partnership and all that you do to make this city what it is today. Council President Elaine Clegg, Council President Pro Tem Holly Woodings, Council Members Jimmy Halliburton, Lucy Willits, Lisa Sanchez, and Patrick Bajent, I thank you for your service to this city. And to our city employees and all the department heads, department directors that are in the audience, you've faced so much in the last 2 years, and through it all, you've invented new ways and impactful ways to serve our residents. As a city team, we focus on supporting and serving people, on working every day to create a city for everyone, where everyone can thrive. And it's the people at the city of Boise that make that possible. Many of you are here today, and even more, of course, are working, providing the programs and services that our community relies on. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to work along each and every one of you. Thank you so much. So today I'm going to talk about our community, the state of our city, what we've accomplished, and where we are headed. Together, we have faced an incredible number of challenges and will continue to, but I am so optimistic because these challenges give us the opportunity to create our vision of Boise's future. It's something we have always done in this city. We're charged with handing down to our kids the Boise that we love and the Boise of our future. It'll take each of us. It'll take your partnership, your desire to make this special place and take care of this special place that we call home. And thankfully, Boiseans are really good at working together. We've always thrived when doing big and tough things alongside one another. You know, from our earliest days, we did the unimaginable. We moved water through a sagebrush desert, creating a lush green valley where we could grow food. We harnessed geothermal water and built systems to heat our homes, our state capitol, our buildings, and later downtown. We built businesses that grew into global leaders in ag, tech, and infrastructure. We welcome people from all walks of life to join us in that work, and we open our arms and homes to refugees fleeing fascism, terror, and discrimination, and then we help them to begin again with us. We stand up to and stare down extremism. We set aside parks and open space for our kids and theirs, and we create brand new solutions for housing while meeting the call for climate action. We sacrifice to protect the health of our residents and our businesses and our community. Boise continues to change, but change doesn't have to be something that's happening to us. Together, we can shape that change, as we always have. We must seize the opportunity in this pivotal moment, and we'll succeed because we put people first. We try all solutions. We do what must be done. And that means growing our economy, making homes more affordable, keeping our city safe, taking climate action, and ensuring we care for our families while giving back to this unique and welcoming community. I know many of you are worried. Every day I hear from Boiseans who are still grieving the loss of a loved one, struggling with rising prices, worrying about losing their home. The pandemic and our recovery have not been the same for everyone. So now more than ever, we have to support and care for all the people of Boise to ensure that we're truly a city for everyone. And I'm happy to report that our economy keeps growing. It's defying expectations. But our cost of living keeps rising too. So we're taking as many steps as we can to ease the financial pressures on our residents. In fact, in the last 3 years, we've held property tax growth down to an average of 1.8%. That's almost half of the allowable increase. And this year, we'll provide $1.2 million in new circuit breaker tax relief to our residents who are elderly, widowed, or disabled. And residents, many of us that are on our water renewal system, will see lower rate increases than we expected and advertised last fall. And we've also dug into what businesses need from us to create good paying jobs. And with the help of over 100 community leaders, many of you in this room, we developed a roadmap for smart investments in our workforce development, in regional leadership, in quality of life, and strategic economic growth. You know, I recently met with one of our newer growing startups here in Boise, PlexTrack. They provide an incredibly important tool for our times, cybersecurity. They're a homegrown Boise company that's building on the foundation of passionate, creative, and talented people right here at home. In addition to Trailhead for their involvement in it, I want to thank Boise State for being one of the key institutions in our community that helps to grow the talent pool that our employers are looking for. One of my highest priorities is supporting small businesses. They're the heart of our economy and, of course, of our community. I appreciate the kind words of Bruce Delaney of Rediscovered Books. We directly supported them and over 300 small businesses with $1.5 million in recovery funds. And we have right now a really unique opportunity to do more, investing in capacity building and business growth for our local entrepreneurs and small business again. We continue to support our community, especially those in needs with recovery funds. I've heard from many business owners that you're hurting because they couldn't access federal money back during the pandemic. And that's why I'm super proud today to announce that we're going to direct $2 million to those small businesses in partnership with the United Way of the Treasure Valley so they continue to be a part of our great recovery. That is how we're going to create a new and resilient economy alongside our businesses. Thank you, United Way, for your partnership. And to support our workforce in Boise, we know that we need childcare. I hear from so many parents who say they can't find affordable childcare, and they've had to leave their careers in the last 2 years because of it. And I hear from childcare providers at the same time that they're facing a major labor shortage. So we're helping to find solutions. Last December, the Boise City Council passed an ordinance to make it possible for temporary childcare worker licenses to be given, getting teachers into the classroom faster and keeping kids safe. And that's not all. I'm pleased to announce $3 million in recovery funds will go to childcare workforce incentive pay. We recognize that investing in quality, affordable childcare is investing in better outcomes. And we are so proud and pleased to partner with the Idaho Association of the Education of Young Children to support our child care workforce so that Boiseans are free to pursue their dream jobs because they know that they've got care for their kids. Thank you, IAYC, for your partnership. And while our economy has grown, so has everything else. I know it's tough to find a home to rent or to buy that you can afford. And it's a challenge throughout our region, not just our city. Housing security is how people build lives. It's how Scott and I started to build ours together. We were lucky to be a young couple in Boise back in the day when starter homes were more readily available. And after a lot of budgeting and saving, we realized our dream of homeownership, which created financial stability. We had to learn a lot about home improvement. In fact, we still are, 23 years later, but it was worth it. And it's an opportunity that every Boisean should have. My number one priority remains ensuring that we've got homes for everyone. That's what it means to take care of people as our city does. Our kids need homes to grow up in so we can support them as they learn, and they'll need a place when they return to build lives of their own here at home. That's the Boise we're creating together. Housing is not just about houses, it's about people. Each and every one of you and us in our community. Through our city rental housing, we've provided homes to more than 500 families and, 500 individuals and more than 300 families. And we've also continued to direct almost $2 million in CARES funds to support people who need it most. I'm very proud to tell you that we've been able to keep thousands of families in their homes in the last 2 years, thanks to the partnership that the city and our team forged with the Boise City Ada County Housing Authority. We provided $15 million in rental assistance to over 3,000 households, people like Donald Murray, families who needed rent money immediately, and we got it to them. And together with the Housing Authority, we're seeking every chance we have to grow this program. And thank you to the Housing Authority. But with all this, the question is, what's next? We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to invest in homes that Boiseans can afford. We'll meet emergency needs to keep folks housed, and we'll direct $12 million in recovery funds to create and preserve affordable homes for Boiseans. We're pioneering multiple programs to ensure that homes on Boise budgets get built. Folks just moved into 45 homes at 6th and Grove, and there are more than 700 homes currently being built. In October, we broke ground on Moda Franklin, our first housing land trust project at Franklin and Orchard. And if you go by, you'll see crews at work. And those 200 homes affordable at Boise budgets should be ready for Boiseans next year. And we're ready to break ground on another housing land trust project at State and Arthur later this year. In all, 6 affordable housing projects are under construction, and 7 more are in the pipeline. And our housing investment program that we announced a couple months ago will get even more affordable homes moving more quickly because it pre-qualifies the developers so they can hit the ground running. We're trying new ideas, and so often those new ideas come from listening to Boiseans. We just announced a partnership with LEAP Housing that will allow people to build movable tiny homes and accessory dwelling units. And I want to thank LEAP for being an important partner in this endeavor. And we're preserving the affordable housing we already have by investing in home rehabilitation. So far, we've spent $300,000 to do that because we know that the most easy way to address affordable housing is to keep up what we already have. Everyone in this city deserves a warm, safe place to live or to spend the night. And as the lead agency of Our Path Home, our team got a roof over the heads of 119 families experiencing homelessness. And we're still seeking ways to shelter even better because we know that if we're going to find those critical answers and address critical issues with Boise Solutions, we have to keep hold of our values of compassion, community, and service. We will continue to invest in permanent supportive housing to help community members in need, to focus on innovative solutions to keep our residents housed, to build better future for Boiseans at all income levels. The bottom line right now is that housing in the city, from an affordable housing perspective, we are on target to meet our goals of producing 1,250 affordable homes by 2026 and creating 250 homes for people exiting homelessness. And these aren't just numbers, they're families. We'll keep supporting families and looking for new and better ways to do it. I often ask my team, our team, to take a build, measure, and learn approach. We'll try new ideas, we'll measure the impact, we'll learn from the results, and we'll make changes as we go to make sure that we're making the progress that we must. And as we grow, so does our Boise Airport. Thank you, Rebecca. It became a medium hub airport this year, adding 8 new nonstop destinations and 3 new airlines. That's going to help Boiseans connect to opportunities wherever they may be, and also people connect to us. The airport also broke ground on 2 new garage projects. Both will be all electric, and you can look forward to parking there in the next couple of years. We're making critical investments in police and fire, just like I have the last 2 years. As we grow, we remain a really safe place to live, and I'm committed to making it even safer. Our crime numbers are going down. The overall crime rate is down, the violent crime rate is down, the property crime rate is down. How? The Boise Police Department, thank you, Chief Lee, and to our department, is re-examining officers' roles to make sure that we are providing the type of service that you all expect. We continue to see the tremendous benefits of having dedicated liaison officers engaging with our community. Through these officers, people feel more connected, more comfortable with our police department. They feel safer, and they're also more likely to report crimes when they happen. We recently added a liaison officer for the Asian American and Pacific Islander community, and we'll continue to grow these positions because they're so important to community policing. Another new officer that we've added, a new position, will be to connect people with substance abuse and disorders to services instead of filling up our courts and jails. We want to do as much as we can to divert. We're adding officers of all responsibilities. And in fact, when a time when hiring has been really hard, we've hired 33 new officers in the last year, many joining the department because they know this is a great place to be. And part of the reason also is because Boise Police Department is committed to officer wellness. We want to take care of our officers so they can provide the best service possible in taking care of our community. And our Boise firefighters, they work tirelessly to keep you and your home safe. We're investing to help them do their jobs even better. We're improving fire stations throughout the city, including the downtown Station 5. When it's rebuilt with additional homes on some of the property right next to it, it'll be all electric, and it'll have charging terminals for electric trucks of the future. This is a first for us, and we'll keep, at the same time, the historical characteristics of the station to fit in with the rest of downtown. I'm also excited to announce that we'll be breaking ground on a brand new fire station in Northwest Boise next year. Our neighbors in the Northwest have been asking for better fire coverage, and Station 13 provides it. The ideal location allows for better collaboration with partner agencies to provide quick and efficient response times to save property and lives. And it too will be fully electric, helping us meet both our safety goals for our city as well as our climate goals. We're making it easier for us to get around Boise. With Valley Regional Transit and financial matches from the Highway District, CCDC, the Idaho Transportation Department, and support from our congressional delegation and business leaders, we've submitted a grant to get more people moving along State Street more easily. If we get it, we'll be able to improve our bus system years sooner than otherwise. And if we don't, they're very competitive. I assure you, we're going to keep trying because we have to. And we're also going to look to keep growing the partnerships that got us to this point, because I committed that I'd rebuild and strengthen relationships to help create the Boise we want to be. We are, because it allows each of us and all of us to serve you better. We want everyone to be able to move more easily from home to work and everywhere in between, because that's what it means to truly be a city for everyone. So we formed a cross-disability task force to help us make sure our neighborhoods, our buildings, parks, and trails are accessible to everyone. The City Council and I are grateful for their work, and will allocate $3.1 million to update our city facilities to provide better access for folks with disabilities. This creates welcoming spaces so that every one of us has the same opportunity to engage in shaping our city and our government. We're also providing more equitable access in our parks, upgrading playgrounds across Boise to make them more inclusive for kids of all abilities. We currently have 10 inclusive playgrounds and will install at least 2 more this year at Bowden and Franklin parks. The new Bowden playground includes an avalanche slide. It's a wide slide. It's the only accessible slide of its kind. And last week I visited Cascia Park, which also has an accessible playground. Oh goodness, I have to look. Oh my gosh, that's really bad. This is why they don't show me the slides beforehand, excuse me. Last week I visited, as proven by the picture, Cascia Park, and after sneaking in a trip down that slide with that little kiddo, the Boisean, who led me up the tower, it was really fun. I loved seeing the accessible merry-go-round designed so that kids with wheelchairs and walkers can feel that thrill that we've all felt as we go around in circles with other kids at the park. And the City Council approved at Gary Lane last summer a new park, and we'll build it this summer. Just a couple weeks ago, I sat in the field eating lunch and imagining the playground, the shelter, the pathways, the people gathering that we'll be able to create there. It advances our goal of having all Boise kids able to walk to a park in 10 minutes, and its pollinator garden advances our America the Beautiful pledge. I'm excited to share that we're naming it for a flower that will be part of that park, a flower native to these foothills and our beautiful city, Primrose Park. As Boiseans, you challenge us to find new ways to keep our air and water clean, to protect natural spaces, and prepare for a climate-ready future for our kids. You joined that effort when you clearly, with a record-setting 80% of the vote, said yes to the Clean Water and Climate Action Bond, allowing us to invest in vital infrastructure, clean water, and climate action. We were so proud to be asked to apply for a federal loan for a large portion of these projects. In fact, they just came back and offered us application for even more. That's going to save millions of taxpayer dollars for Boiseans. We're making smart investments in infrastructure to protect our health, save money for Boiseans, meet our climate goals of clean electricity and carbon neutrality, and growing our economy while doing so. And it's not just big projects that make a difference. We partnered with the South Cole Neighborhood Association to plant trees because they just didn't have enough. In fact, along with community partners across the city, we planted 13,500 trees through the City of Trees Challenge. And I'm pleased to announce that I'm proposing $10 million in recovery funds for climate adaptation. Boiseans value bold climate action, and that's exactly what this makes possible. Part of this funding will allow for us to improve, repair, and expand our geothermal heating system. It's already the largest direct-use system in the United States, providing clean heat to over 90 billion buildings in downtown Boise. Now it's going to do even more. These funds will also electrify our city buildings so we can take advantage of the clean power that Idaho provides, that Idaho Power provides. We'll turn up to 7 buildings fully electric in the next year, and all of our new buildings going forward as we build them will be fully electric. Why do we do this? Because Boise's our home. And like a home, you make investments in it over time to make sure it provides you with what you need to thrive, to keep it up, to make room as your family grows or as your job changes, to create space to welcome new friends and neighbors. Over the years, your home might look different, yet it occupies that same place in our hearts and offers the same support, safe haven, and comfort that it did on the very first day that you stepped into it. It shelters you, just as our community shelters us, despite the changes, the updates, the challenges, the additions, the opportunities. We're creating a home, our community, together, because it's an incredibly important part of our lives, and it provides the opportunity, connections, and support that we all need to thrive. And yes, sometimes our home is hit by tragedy. In October, we saw how willing Boiseans are to sacrifice for each other. In the hours after the mall shooting, we heard story after story of heroics to protect others. Jo Acker gave her life to keep people safe. Shopkeepers pulled customers into their back rooms to shield them. Our officers did all they could to prevent further loss of life. I toured the mall the morning it opened. I met with some of the shopkeepers and workers face to face. Some of them cried in my arms, and I cried in theirs. They were teens and in their early 20s, not much older than my own kids, but they weren't too young to be heroes that day, to lay down their lives for strangers. While shaken, we weren't broken. Boiseans rallied together to support those hurt by the crime. I saw the strength and heart of our city in the aftermath of that tragedy. And sometimes we're tested. When hate-filled individuals tried to breed fear and intimidation through anti-Semitism, our community responded. Chief Lee and I walked the neighborhoods where folks received those despicable flyers at their homes. And door after door, conversation after conversation, we found Boiseans ready to help their neighbors, to denounce hate, to take steps to prevent more of it from happening. I saw people standing shoulder to shoulder against those who would intimidate their fellow Boiseans for their faith. I appreciate the words of Rabbi Dan in the opening video. We have to remember these moments. We have to remember our resilience, our ability to tackle challenges, so that we hold fast to the foundation of what makes Boise, Boise, each of us. We can and we will get through these times more connected, with our neighborhoods and our city strengthened by the experience of facing these challenges together. We do these things for our families, for our kids. And I want to say a special thanks to mine. Oh, I have to look. My in-laws, Daryl and Rod, live in Southeast Boise. My husband, Scott, has been a true partner since we were younger than our kids are now. Our daughter, Madeline's wrapping up college. In fact, graduates on Friday, so she's not here, but she's with us in spirit as she is every day. And Aiden, who snuck in the back there, today was his last day of high school. It was one of those mom fails where I didn't look at all calendars when scheduling this. But he and his classmates have shared this challenging journey right alongside us. All of our kids have. For Aiden and his peers, they missed nearly half of their sophomore year. As juniors, they learned how to excel-ish in online school. They dealt with on-again, off-again, in-person classes as the pandemic ebbed and flowed. They visited colleges and workplaces remotely. And then finally, this year, in fact, this final semester, classes got back to normal. If you're a parent, you know our kids showed us how to be resilient and offered lessons for all of us. And on behalf of the parents of the city, I want to thank our teachers for all that you have done to support our children and make sure they're ready for the future. raising kids in our community, being a kid in our community, is a gift, an incredible gift. From riding balance bikes on our trails or at the pump track and having teens cheer you on, to feeling the care of teachers, businesses, owners, and neighbors, to knowing your librarian at the local library. Boise offers our kids a place to thrive, a sense of belonging, of knowing that folks will watch out for you and support you in the best and worst of times. And because we want their kids to feel that same belonging, we continue to connect, to care, and to create our home together. It's that future we're all preparing for. Our city is in a moment of pivotal change, but Boise's growing. Boise looks different than she did even 5 years ago, and we know Boise will look different 5 years from now. To guide this change and to create a city grounded in our shared values of compassion and service, Boiseans continue to do what we have always done. We've always been willing to dig in and to help. In fact, everywhere I look, I see Boiseans ready to dig in together to create our Boise, our home of the future. I see students leading the charge on climate action, providers and city employees connecting more people to childcare, people rolling up their sleeves to make sure we have homes we can afford, a healthy community, and access to transportation. Everywhere I go, my fellow Boiseans are creating a future, our future, that's defined by our love for this place and a commitment to our neighbors. We've always done this. We could not have turned the desert into our shining city at the base of the hills without each other. It's how we shaped the city together, taking care of what we love most about this place, each other. We have overcome challenges in the past on our journey to becoming the city that we are today, and we're doing the same thing right now on our journey to what's next. At this moment of great pivotal change, I am optimistic. We've been through some of the hardest times, and we've come out on the other side. Our values, front and center, our vision intact. We'll continue to do this. Come together, create solutions, care for and value each other for who we are, for what we add to this community. We do this for each other and for our great city, Boise. Thank you.